Hello everybody and welcome. This is a Niagara video. My name is Charles Johnson. I'm the lead trainer and technical engineer at Lynxspring. Today we're going to talk about PX tagged based graphics. It's something that we touch briefly on in the N4 TCP. What I mean by touch, we just tell you that tags can be used for tag based graphics, but we actually don't offer any other real reason or we don't show them how to do this. And so the idea of using tag-based graphics is that the points are actually located based upon tags that are added to those components, and then they will traverse the parent for those components and put them on the graphic. And it's based upon a NQL query rather than an actual, standard or what they call fully qualified ORD or a relativized ORD. And so here are the benefits. I have 4 different air handlers, and you can see my point names for the first one. Well, the second one, they are different. And in the third one, as well in the fourth one, they're all different. Why? Because these are 4 different manufacturers that these are the names of their points. So if I have one PX page, well, how am I going to get this? If I attempt to use a tag, or if I use a relativized graphic, which is what this one is. So if I have this relativized here, well, I can't. Why? Because not all the point names are the same. So if I attempt to apply this to another controller here, new view, and I'll say air handler no tag, and I click reuse, well, everything pretty much is going away. We see that we have other issues here. Why? Because even though the damper might be the same, nothing else really is. Even then, we see here that it looks like some of the graphic was actually set up for to be invisible when the point name isn't there. We can see that this is not going to work with them all. However, how did I actually come up with one graphic that actually will house all 4 different air handlers with all 4 different point names using one PX page? Well, that's where tags come in. And so if I go back to my first one here, and I will go into my edit PX mode, we can see now here that the bound ORDs actually don't look like ORDs at all. Matter of fact, it kind of looks like a special NQL query, and that's exactly what it is. So if I were to click on there, this is doing a traverse of the parent in which the point is a child point, and it has the current tags H4, which stands for Haystack 4 Fan, and AHU. So if I do this, I can now go and find that even if I go to the component chooser, it's still going to find it based upon the tags that are there. So how do I equalize an ORD? Well, if I have one that shows no tags here, and let me apply it to air handler 1 here, which I showed you. If I go to its PX page, you see here they're all relativized. So if I hit equalize ORDs, convert to tag based, it's now going to attempt to find all the points that are associated with stuff and apply tags that might be valuable. Now, some of these may have to be modified. For example, this occupancy command, which is currently an enum, which is why it's reading 0, because these devices are offline. So it's actually going to pick up a tag where it says its current value is 0. So that's something that we could modify afterwards. In addition, if we go to options, we can choose to traverse if possible, to create a traverse only, or to create a select only. So what this actually means is that a traverse query actually uses basically a relation ID and the direction based upon the component and the set of endpoints. So if a component in the bound ord lists one of those endpoints, an algorithm basically compares the tags on that component to the tags on the other endpoints. And so if there's a set of tags that distinguishes that component from the other, those tags are used. Those are used instead. Whereas a select query basically refers to the descendants of a base component. So if a component in the bound ord list is one of those descendants, an algorithm is going to compare those tags and use them differently. However, but based upon a no relation or relation direction is returned instead. So just to show you my original graphic here. So this is one where I have now equalized these tags, but I've added some additional things. One, I'm looking for really here where this tag was searched to occupied versus maybe some other kind of awk or unawk tag that I could have used. So since it's the only one unique to to a point inside this parent controller, it's going to put it on the graphic for me. Whereas, like, let's say, for example, the awk cool set point, I'm looking for something that's a set point that has the cool tag and the awk tag. Same thing here for the unawk. So I'm using the unawk, the cool, and the S point and the SP tag. Now, how do we equalize actions? So if we go back here, we can see right here where it says slot : out. So it is looking for the out slot here, in which I have the value chosen in my object string. So in actions, as long as you choose the slot that you're supposed to go to, so emergency override, emergency auto, override auto, and set, you're able to perform that function as well. So one of the greatest things about this here is that it doesn't matter what my point names are. It doesn't matter at all. It's just looking for the tags that are neat. So this does help people kind of keep the same naming conventions of other devices they may have had without having to rename anything from any kind of standard whatsoever. So that's actually my talk on tag-based PX pages, and hope you have a good one.